Today we're tapping into the emotional state of your inner child. Hi, my name's Kelsey. I'm an intuitive guide, and today I have a pick a figure reading for you, and I have two of my favorite little pop mart characters to choose from. But what we're doing is we're going to tap into the emotional state of our inner child. So just a reminder, the inner child exists within each one of us. Our inner child, holds a lot of emotion, a lot of wisdom. Also, it holds our earliest memories, which can be great and also can be a little bit traumatizing. So it is important that we validate the emotions and the memories of our inner child in order for us to build good relationships with others and with ourselves as adults. It builds trust. You can also get in touch with your inner child by indulging your inner child, getting the things that make you happy, as well as doing the things that light you up. So let's get into this reading. Here we have Midnight Tinky Winky and we have Pond. So take a moment, tap into the emotional state of your inner child. Trust your intuition, okay? Pick which figure speaks to you, and we're gonna start with Midnight Tinky Winky. Alrighty, if you picked Midnight Tinky Winky, this is your message. We are using the In My Feels Oracle by my beautiful friend Heather Schultz. She goes by Shadow and Shine, and I'll tell you where you can get these at the end of the reading. So we're tapping into your inner child's emotional state. And it is what it is. We're gonna accept whatever comes out, and we're gonna validate. Okay, there might be some confusion surrounding direction and what you want to do with your life. Disoriented, unsure, maybe. Okay, this is difficult energy, and especially we're coming out of retrograde season. We're ending a year. There can be a lot of heaviness at this time of year. The holidays can also be a confusing time, a time of joy, but also a time of grief if you're missing people or if things don't go exactly the way you want them to go. So we need to validate that confusion, that inner child confusion, and let them know that it's okay to feel that way, right? So however that makes sense to you, that confusion needs to be validated, but your inner child is also feeling lucky. I think that that's that optimism. So there may be confusion, but there is optimism. The inner child sees the trees through the forest, the path through the forest, right? You're fortunate, you feel favorable, lucky, yes. So that is a beautiful state to be in for your inner child. So let's pull a fairy card. So we're pulling from the Oracle of the Fairies just to see a message from your inner child, maybe some advice about this confusion. Flourish. Ooh, and the greens in this with this lucky card. And the pinks of this confusion card. Ooh, it just aesthetically is very beautiful. Flourish. The Lotus Flower Fairy tells you to learn from experience. What did I say? And shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. So that confusion you're feeling, you're being validated by the fairies, okay? But it's time to shine your light because you are lucky. You got that lucky girl or guy or however you identify syndrome. And it's time to shine as a light worker and shine that light on yourself and to help others see the beauty and the luck that is coming your way. So if this resonates, why don't you leave me a lotus flower in the comments, okay? And if you picked Pond, this is your message from your inner child. So we're tapping in, we're using the In My Feels Oracle by Heather Schultz. Again, I'll tell you where to get this at the end of the video, this deck, if you resonate with it. But we're tapping into the inner state, the emotional state of your inner child. What do they need to know right here? Oh, shame, embarrassed, flustered. Yeah, okay, so shame is a tough emotion to feel. Like all emotions are valid though, right? But I find embarrassment and being flustered, that's really hard. And as children, oftentimes we go through things that are embarrassing or, it's kind of funny. You can look back on things as an adult and think, oh, I wouldn't be embarrassed by that anymore, right? Things shift as you get older, but that inner child sometimes gets embarrassed. And that's okay. It's time to validate that emotion, right? So take a moment. Okay, I see you, inner child, and you're embarrassed, but how can we work through this? We're going to call on the advice of the fairies. Ooh, 444 on the clock. That might resonate for some of you. Protection. Okay, ooh, the rainbows here. Protection. The fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. practice psychic protection before embarking on any spiritual work. So if you accept yourself, accept all parts of yourself, that is a journey, right? It's really hard to be embarrassed. And what's important here is that you protect your energy. So I'm getting cleansing will be important to you. So whether that you use sound cleansing or smoke cleansing or whatever it is that resonates for you, you also need to protect yourself as in a protective prayer, especially if you're doing divination work. A lot of you are light workers that are coming across this. So I feel like that's really important, is protecting yourself and, you know, allowing that, like the emotion of embarrassment to exist. But once you've protected yourself, it's really hard to be embarrassed, especially when you have the fairies of protection guiding you. So if this resonates, leave me a rainbow in the comments, okay? All right, if you made it this far, I would love to give you a little bit of sound healing. So this is a tuning fork that vibrates at 528 hertz, which is the miracle frequency. It cleanses, it protects, it also works to heal. So take a moment. Alrighty, so if you feel called to book a reading with me and you really connected with these cards, the In My Feels cards by Heather, I'll tag her. And this is where you can find both those things, book a reading, find her card decks, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.